Oh boy, all right. Little
Yeah.
extra video that we hope people give a shit about. We'll see.
um,
Um,
it's well, I think I know it's good to reflect, um, think about the things that we've watched in the past year because it's a whole year.
yeah,
It's
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, it's
It's
a
been a whole year.
big chunk of days.
And we also recently hit 100,000, so that was awesome too.
Yes.
So that's why we are here having some drinks. And we're going to talk about all the movies we watched this year, which is actually quite a lot. 3 movies a
Yeah.
week, 52 weeks. Yeah, we did 156 movies this year.
Listen, it's
So,
hard work, but somebody has to do it.
yeah, we have a couple of questions to ask each other, and we're going to bounce back and forth and basically talk about our favorites, shocking, most fun, most memorable, blah, 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 and just kind of a year in review and get drunk while we're doing it. So what are you drinking, by the way?
Wine. It's gross. It's it literally has no smell. It's okay. It's really cheap, and it was the first bottle I saw because I had to run out real quick. So
Right. Okay.
I think actually I'm quite impressed at how inexpensive this wine was. $7.99.
You bought a $7 bottle of wine?
Hey. High roller.
Oh my God.
It's not very good.
Pay us better, YouTube. So Simone can afford better wine than $7.99. Well, with that shockingly cheap wine is a good segue
For our first
to the first question. Yeah, Simone. So our first question is the most shocking and surprising movie.
Well, let me just
Top 3. Let's go with top 3.
let me just bring up my notes here. My 3 most shocking movies.
What's the first one?
The Fly.
The Fly shocked you the most first.
I
Okay.
think The Fly is the first thing I kind of thought of because of I was not prepared for all of like the body horror. Like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and then it just happened. It happened, and you couldn't stop it.
There was a lot less Jeff Goldblum fun body, a lot more gross body.
I wanted the fun body.
Which part shocked you the most? Was it like the small body horror, or was it like the big grotesque stuff?
I think it was the like small detailed stuff. There is
The nail?
there was a moment when we were watching the movie that I was actually like going to throw up.
Oh no.
Like there's a moment where it's not I didn't like throw up in my mouth and like swallow it on camera or anything. It sounds like I'm lying right now, and I totally did that. But I didn't. But it was like the feeling of like, oh my God, this is actually sick. It's so gross.
Yeah. It was pretty disgusting.
So-
Yeah.
So that was shocking.
I'm gonna say, you know what? Misery.
Ooh,
Misery. Because
interesting.
if you go back and watch that one, we were so wrong for the first, like, there was one part where you literally said, oh good, the nurse found him. He's safe now.
I didn't think that it was gonna be like I knew that something bad was going to happen. I did not think it was gonna be that. I didn't think it was gonna be her doing
the hobbling.
Yeah, it was gross.
Just breaking the foot. That was really bad. And apparently it's even worse in the book. Apparently it's an axe. That's
so glad
terrifying.
I didn't need to watch that.
Well, actually, you know what? No, I feel like visually, the hammer is worse. The sledgehammer. Because I feel like
I don't know.
Had she pulled out an axe and started chopping off his leg, it would go too over the top gory. I would feel like I'm watching Final Destination.
Right, I see what you mean.
But,
yeah.
Yeah, but because it's blunt force and it's just bone breaking, and you can, it makes you imagine everything that's happening underneath, as opposed to
it's true. No, if it was
blood
like
fly.
Yeah, because your brain is like, this is too dangerous, and like protect yourself, and then the hobbling.
Yeah, no matter what a movie does, your imagination's worse.
Yeah, it's true. Oh my God, is that ever true? Okay, my next most shocking or surprising is a little different. It's not like so much like shock value, but I was shook from Stallone's performance in Rambo at the end there.
Oh, yeah.
I went in being like, okay,
Yes.
Rambo, it's like war. Whoa, I'm a guy who's gonna, I'm in a forest. And then, and then,
Go on. Yeah, continue.
and then at the end, it was so beautiful and it was sad. And like, he was so in it that I was shocked.
He was gonna forest and then he stopped foresting.
Would you guys like to see videos of me explaining movies? Just real quick, like just checking.
Oh, it's
I'll be
great. It's
drunk
great.
the whole time.
That's a good tie-in too, because we recently recovered the first Rambo video. So that was cool. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
What about you?
yeah, the next one for me that surprised me the most is actually Mean Girls.
Okay, how so? As in you liked it?
I really loved it, but also because we watched it pretty soon after Clueless, and I was expecting. It really surprised me how uncliche it was, and how
Interesting.
you know what I mean, like how adulterated some of the jokes were. Like it surprised me. I was expecting some more closer to Clueless, and instead I got, I don't know, a bit of American Pie feeling in it.
Yeah, two very, very different movies.
Yeah. But on paper, it just seems like such a chick flick, like a teenage girl movie. Yeah, but it totally wasn't. It was great.
Agree. Yeah. The other most shocking, the top three. This is what we're doing. The third most shocking movie stuff that we watched. Was recently. We did it recently, and is Borat. Specifically, it's just so naked, so very naked, and so close to someone's butthole. It was right in there.
A noose.
It was right there, you guys. Anyway.
Yeah. That was a lot of.
That movie was crazy, but that little tussle.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say Apocalypse Now.
Okay. Shocking. Yeah.
I was expecting more Full Metal Jacket vibe. What I got was an acid trip.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
The descent into madness throughout the whole movie, that was all cool, but I didn't expect it to be so fever dream like.
Oh, that's a great fever dream.
That movie was just insanity. I mean, literally, but
yep.
Yeah. Even from the first moment, from the first scene with Martin Sheen naked in the hotel room, just doing weird dances and martial art moves, and then breaking down, and then like all the way to the end where, just a bull gets decapitated.
Oh God, that was
all the way
horrible.
Through. Just
horrible.
Nuts. That movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, that really shocked me. Most underrated movie. Okay, top 3 most underrated. So I guess, either we didn't expect it to perform well and it did. Or it was something that you maybe didn't expect going in, didn't expect much, and it was a lot better than you thought it was going to be.
Oh, interesting. I read that question differently.
Actually, I'm going to say A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So the reason I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I actually did was because actually, it's funny, we just talked about this yesterday, like the Seinfeld problem, where something classic established a lot of new things, and then everything that came after that started copying it. So I was expecting, other horror tropes I've seen, probably learned it from Nightmare from Elm Street or other movies like it from the 80s and earlier on. And so I was expecting it to feel tiresome and overdone, even though it's not the movie's fault, because everything it did at its time is the newest.
Yeah.
Right? But I just thoroughly had a great time. It was just a blast.
Cool. The one on my list was, and this is where I think our the definitions get a bit different for us, is that I chose Everything Everywhere All at Once as the most underrated, because it hands down is one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen.
Right.
But
Hands down, one of our worst performing videos ever.
Yeah, exactly, which is so peculiar.
That's true. That is underrated. Yeah.
So that's what I meant by underrated. So yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like it's a simple story, but it was told in such a unique way. I can't even like. It's just it's so cool, so awesome. So I think that one.
That's
was
true.
underrated.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I was surprised how low the views were on that movie.
Me too.
Or even the mixed opinions in the comments. There were some of you guys who didn't like it, and that's fair enough.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
But that movie really hit me to the core.
Yeah. It was a great.
Yeah, that was such a good movie.
Great movie. Yeah. Okay. What's
man.
your numero 2?
Second underrated movie for me. It's actually in similar vein to Nightmare on Elm Street in my reasoning, but this time it's with a different genre.
Okay.
And that would be the Austin Power movies.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Same thing. I was expecting the humor to not really get to me, just because it's like one of those, like, I haven't seen those movies up until that point, but even I've heard those jokes.
Yeah.
Right? But I just thought, if I heard of them in other contexts, it won't be shocking to me or funny to me when it happens in the movie. And it totally was.
Yeah. I think, the Austin Power movies are like, really, like Mike Myers is just amazing.
Next one for you. Underrated.
The next one was Amelie. It was one that...
Right, for the same... Yeah.
Almost for the same reason as Everything Everywhere, because it is such an awesome film that was not... Nobody thinks about it anymore, I guess. But it just makes me sad, that's all. Because it's so good. And I guess I don't know. I guess because I still have it on my mind because we just watched it this year. So it's just so great.
It is something that I've learned to differentiate the difference between a movie where someone reminds you of it and you go, oh yeah, that movie is great, I love it, versus a movie where you actively go search for the reaction stuff. I feel like those are two very different things.
Totally. And it's something that we are trying so hard to try and figure out, like, what are the rules? What do we do?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's movies that have big shocking scenes that make sense that people would search for. Your Saving Private Ryan's, your I don't know, Sixth Sense, right? Those big twisty moments or shocking moments or whatever. It makes sense that you want to see how people react to it. That's probably how the whole Game of Thrones thing started, right? With people watching reactions of other people during the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
But there are other movies that are just great throughout.
Yeah.
But there are no isolated big moments.
Yeah.
And I guess for that reason, people just don't really look for it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like, okay, viewers, how do you guys decide what movies, and like, how does it come to you that you want to search for a specific movie's reaction? Yeah. Give us the answer so we can do well on YouTube. Second one for me. Ooh, let me see. That I didn't expect much, but became a lot better. Commando.
Yeah.
Commando. Yeah. I was fully expecting Cheeseball Arnold, and it is, but it was good cheese.
Like Gouda.
Yeah, it was so much fun. All right.
Okay.
Last one for you.
Again, last one with our very different dissection of the question. Would it be Top Gun Maverick? Because that's one of the biggest movies of the year. It's one of the biggest movies of the year.
Yeah.
And I had such a good time watching that movie. And it for some reason
the video crashed and burned like Miles Teller's plane.
Spoilers.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what happened with that one.
No, there. You know what? It could have gotten lost in like the YouTube was too flooded with stuff like that because it was so great that it just got
Maybe, yeah.
maybe.
And we were a Daily Dollar short with it, yeah.
So what do you think is
Mm.
your top 3 most disappointing films?
Ooh, okay, this is
Yeah.
a risky question.
This is the spicy one.
I'm gonna protect myself first
Sure. Go ahead.
by saying this.
Yeah.
Most disappointing in comparison to the other movies does not mean it's bad.
I would agree
In
with
that,
that.
if you have to rank something from 1 to 10, something will have to be 10 no matter what,
Yeah, it's true.
right? So it doesn't mean being number 10 is bad. It just means that it's the last one in comparison to the others. So, oh no, you're gonna hate me for this.
Oh no.
Because the first movie I'm gonna say from that disappointed me a little bit was actually Amelie.
Go fuck yourself. Cut the
Again,
video.
I didn't say
Cut the video.
I didn't say it was bad. I didn't say it was bad.
I'm just kidding. I don't care. You're
Yeah.
entitled to your own opinion. And what I get out of film might be much different than what you get out of film.
No, for sure, yeah.
It's art. You can't get mad at someone for liking like art that you don't like.
Yeah. So with Amelie, for me, it was because of like how much I've heard about that movie, people referencing things. I've seen, clips and pieces and images of it, and just it's one of those things that keeps coming up every once in a while. So I guess I was going in expecting a lot.
Expectations, man.
Yeah.
They're killers.
And I kind of have a thing against
French people?
manic pixie. I live in Quebec.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. They're gonna come to me. No, against like the manic pixie dream girl character.
Yes.
I find them really tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably where my bias comes in. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so
right.
curious why you hate the manic pixie dream girl trope. So curious.
Because in real life they just shatter your life.
But okay, but most disappointing I think for me was The Hunt for Red October.
Okay.
My
yeah.
reason being, it's just not really something that I would ever watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really my jam. I didn't have like it. It was a fine movie. It just wasn't like super interesting to me. And maybe that makes me, like I don't know.
Okay.
How about you? What's your next one?
Yes. So the second movie that disappointed me in the same way that I did to my family is this one. I don't think it's really that surprising because we already said it during the video, and that's Temple of Doom.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. Yep.
I can't. It was difficult to edit that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, especially coming after Raiders Lost Ark. It was day and night difference.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really, that one was quite disappointing for me.
Yeah.
But it was redeemed, the franchise as a whole, with The Last Crusade.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
The next one, I think, and it's just, I'm always gonna go back to expectations. I expected one thing and got another, and then it was kind of like, what's going on? And the movie was Big Trouble in Little China.
Ah, okay.
I by no means hated it. I liked the movie, but I went in thinking that it was going to be something totally different than what it was. And now what I thought it was going to be, I have no idea.
Big Trouble. Yeah. I don't actually remember much of that movie. I
And
think about it. So.
I think that's part of it too. It's like you're like,
yeah.
What was that?
The third one that was a bit disappointing for me was Jurassic Park Lost World.
Not enough dinosaurs. Not enough Jeff Goldblum. Even though he was old.
I legitimately at this moment, I cannot remember what that movie's about or what happens in it.
Oh gosh, what does it say about me that I know exactly what it was about?
I can't, because like I memorize these movies pretty well because I watch them with you.
Yeah,
and then within the next week I edit the whole thing, so I basically watch it twice in quick succession. So it really sticks to my head. But Lost World, I don't remember anything. I don't know what happens in it. I don't. Yeah.
So here's what happened. There were dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs on an island that was not the first island. Was it the first island? No. Okay. There were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There. And then Jeff Goldblum had a daughter. And then he also had a Julianne Moore. And then he needed to go.
That's right.
They were like, hey, I'm going. And then he was like, I'll save you.
Last one for this category for you.
Okay.
Disappointment.
People are gonna feel something about this. I don't know. Okay, my last disappointment. It was American Pie. Specifically.
Oh, okay.
Specifically one moment, and this is where I'm gonna get some heat. It's like, because I'm like, whatever. It's the webcam no-nos. It's the no bad movie.
That scene, that moment probably hits you different than it hits me. I'm not saying any personal experience, but like for example, if I watch a scene where in a movie, let's say there's a movie that's about the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1812. It hits me different than it hits you. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Even though we're both watching something bad happen, it's a different meaning between the two of us.
And we can both relate, but not in the same way. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, top 3 most visually beautiful.
I feel like we maybe might have some similar ones for this category.
Okay. Well, first one's you.
No, it was Arrival.
Oh, okay.
I thought like seeing the alien ships in those crazy wide shots is just like, it already, like, without doing anything really, just makes you just feel something. Like it's really amazing.
So the first one I'm going to go with was The Northman. That's a beautiful movie.
Yes, agreed.
Especially that shot of the guy at the wall throwing the spear and he catches it and then throws it back.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
All in one shot. That was cool. I mean, the raiding of the villages so many times and like.
Interesting. Yeah. When you said The Northman, the first thing that came to mind was the tree, the family tree.
Oh yeah, that too.
That was like, that will never leave my brain. That was so cool.
Or just what's his face seething as every muscle ripples.
Yeah. The next one is it's gonna be Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, that was actually my third one. So yeah, you're right.
It's yeah. I mean, it's just so pretty, and like what's funny though is both like Arrival and that one too. Well, both Denis Villeneuve, but like also both very like hazy and like like misty. Like, and yeah, but it's so cool. Like I remember like the scene in the desert with like the big statues that have toppled over.
Yeah.
And like it's just, oh my God. I guess the desert was Vegas.
Yeah.
It was Vegas.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful.
That's fair. Well, since you took my third one, I'm going to give my third one as a runner-up.
Okay.
Like, replace it with my runner-up.
That's fair.
And that's going to be Jamie Lee Curtis in True Light. No, I'm kidding. Well, not really kidding, but my runner-up was Godfather Part 2.
Okay, yeah.
Just all the sequences of going back and forth on that street, on the rooftop, that shot of young Corleone in that house robbing and stealing the rug with his friend, and the friend was like standing at the doorway as the cop leaned in.
Yeah.
And you can just see the invisible line of action that's going to happen from him shooting the pistol if the cop's head poked right through. There were just so much like prolonged shots of just letting it kind of soak.
Interesting.
And letting the feelings play out, you know, like even as small as like in the restaurant scene where Michael was sitting there and the two people that he was about to shoot later were talking and their voices drown out and the camera just slowly zoom in on his face as he's clenching his teeth, and you can just feel that he's like building up the nerve to do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, I get moist thinking about that movie.
Moist, George. I'm gonna leave my last one, and I'm gonna go with my runner-up instead. I'm switching places. Amelie. Here's why.
Sure.
The
Fuck you, George. That's why.
Because fuck you, George. No. There was something about this film that like, it was. Well, for one, it was colored so like. I don't know how to describe it. It had really interesting colors, and and it was just, I don't know. You know what? I should have prepared more. I don't know. I just like wrote lists and I was like, but it's I just think
I agree with you. It is
beautiful.
Yeah, it is very striking visually as a movie. I agree with you. Yeah.
It's
okay,
and so unique, and it did. It did a lot of stuff where I don't know what it's called, but it's where it's like you could have like a focus and then blurry background, or you could have both the background and your whatever you call it in focus, like both in focus. Everything's in focus, so you can really like you're just there. You can see all the things, and that's what that movie did. It was really cool.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
You know when you watch a movie and you can just like see things. George, I would like to know.
So formal.
What your most memorable scenes or performances in a movie that we've watched this year are.
Okay, first one's gonna be easy. Those of you who watched Sicario and George's older videos, you know, you probably heard me mention this quite a few times, and it is in Leon the Professional. When Matilda's standing at the doorway, begging for Leon to please open the door, please.
Okay.
That scene haunts me.
Interesting.
Just her face, slowly walking past her home, seeing the guy outside, catching glimpses of what's happened on the inside, remains impassive, and then as soon as she steps in front of the door, it just breaks.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the words come out of her mouth, her voice breaks, and that pleading. Oh. Awesome.
Yep.
So good. What about you?
I think one of the most memorable performances or scenes really it's Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like he was just the performance in that film from him was so amazing, but particularly the trailer scene where he just like loses his shit. Yeah, it's like that is to me like just actors doing that's the fucking, I was about to say like jam, like jelly, like that's like the best. That's the best. That's the piece of pie, the best piece of pie. You know that there. Damn it.
Okay, so the next one for me that had a really, really memorable scene, but actually for a negative reason.
Okay.
And it is A Clockwork Orange. The break-in. The break-in at the house at the beginning.
Yep.
The song and dance, the hitting, the essay that eventually occurs. It was so difficult to watch, but it stays with me because of the music, because of the singing, because of the way that the angles were framed and how just kind of voyeuristic it was there was no cutting back and forth. It was just low camera angle, look up, and even when Malcolm McDowell was cutting that woman's suit, the one piece, I was like, okay, it's a fucked up scene, it's a dark movie, it's a dark moment, but also I'm worried, like, please don't accidentally cut her with the scissors. I know he didn't because the movie's out, but like, you know what I mean? It was just everything was just happening at the same time, and it was like, so
felt the danger through the screen.
Exactly, it was so viscerally gross.
Yeah, another one that will never leave my brain is from Good Will Hunting. I
think I know which scene.
Of course. The repetition of "it's not your fault," like I can't even say it more. I can't say it again. I will start to cry. Like it's just so amazing. And again, it's amazing actors in their element and of like doing the repetition. It's just so good.
So the last one for most memorable scene is that quick montage of Michelle Yeoh and all her variations of life in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and just going through all of it and her expression as she realizes, you know, how insignificant she is in the grand scheme of things. I mean, that one is up there in competition. Like runner up is the two rocks in that scene, in that movie, just talking silently.
I forgot about the rocks.
So that movie has two super memorable moments for me. Yeah, number 4 would have been that one.
Oh, the rocks.
That movie hits hard. Yeah.
All
right, last one for you.
The last one I chose was Hereditary. Toni Collette. The whole movie basically with her performance in it again, but the dinner scene from start to finish, from when it's quiet and just stewing until it explodes. It's like she's just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good segue to the next question.
Oh?
top 3 most fun.
Okay. Okay.
Your first one.
Yeah.
My first one is very, very recent, and that's Ocean's 11.
Me too. Okay, second.
Oh, second. Okay, we're not elaborating. Okay, no. Second one for me is actually also very recent, and that's Borat.
Oh.
Because of how outrageous it was.
Yeah.
And then the last one was actually Galaxy Quest. Even though I've never seen Star Trek, I genuinely, thoroughly had a great time with that movie. It was just such a fun blast.
I've never been so proud. Okay, cool. Okay. Mine were Ocean's 11, Edge of Tomorrow, and Final Destination.
It's that push-up, isn't it?
Yeah, just had so much fun with that. Now we can elaborate. So Ocean's 11. What do you? Yeah, what was the most fun about it for you?
Oh, it's just the whole damn thing. Like it never let up.
Yeah, agreed.
The suaveness, the silky smooth dialogue, the whole thing was just cool.
Yeah. It's funny you describe it as silky smooth. I don't know if I would agree with that, but I definitely the dialogue was like it was casual and smart and like and it was just like I guess silky smooth could be like delicious. I thought the dialogue was delicious. So that makes we're all saying the same thing here. We're all just
yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then Borat. So we've got Borat.
I was out of breath by the end of that movie. That's why it's the most fun.
I laugh
promise
a lot.
I wasn't even stoned. I genuinely just sat down, watched that movie, and then by the end, I discovered new muscles in my abs that I didn't know I had.
The scene where he's at he's like talking to someone about dinner etiquette, and then he's at the dinner, and then the whole time when he was like trying to excuse himself to go to the bathroom. But when he came back with a little baggie,
with a bag of poop,
I was crying. Not like whatever, but like I was laughing so hard that
that
I had
was-
tears in my eyes. It was,
Yeah.
again, delicious.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then Galaxy Quest, it's just a good time.
It is a good time. Yeah.
Just having the duality of, real aliens and actors who think
Yeah. Yeah. It was so
they're in a
good.
shitty convention. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right.
Good
What about
times.
you?
Well, Edge
Your
of Tomorrow. Okay, well, so Ocean's 11, we kind of already got into that. It was just enjoyable all the way through. And the same with like Edge of Tomorrow. It was kind of just like, it was actiony and easy, and there weren't like lulls, and it was just like a lot of fun. And we had a purpose. We went in there, we knew exactly what we had to do. We had to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over. And it was great because, I think they did it in such a fun way of like, it's the same thing over and over, but it was never boring. We knew exactly what was going to happen every single day until like, it got further and further, but like, it was just super enjoyable and fun to me.
Yeah. Safe scumming doesn't ruin the game at all.
Sometimes it's necessary, man. And then Final Destination. I love the two that we've watched. I can't wait to watch the other ones because it's so aware and it knows what it's trying to do, and it's just it's like this crazy, gory, ridiculous, just awesome shit.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
And it's just, how can you not have fun when the filmmakers know exactly what they're doing and they do it really well? It's great.
Yeah. Good job, Greg Perry. Yeah. The 3 most heart-wrenching and touching moments.
Okay, so you go.
All right, fine. The first one, most touching moment. I think this is more personal than, specifically to the film itself, but it is the final act of turning red.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the whole, immigrant family separation of, your attitude towards society, towards life, and blah, 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 between parents and children, and so on and so forth, right? But also, specifically this one, because Turning Red was also about a Chinese immigrant family in Canada.
Yeah.
It doesn't get as more personal than that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you want to see me cry? Go watch that movie or that video.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
The most heart-wrenching and touching moments in the movie were the movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Of course, yeah.
Like at the end, the mother-daughter scenes. Everyone's got a mom. What can you say, really? It just there's like a really special relationships with mother-daughters are so crazy because at least like with my experience, like we fought like cats and dogs. We like it was brutal. Like if someone were just like looking on the outside, like when I was growing up, it would be like, holy shit, they fucking hate each other. It's but at the end of the day, it's like no, this is your one person in the world that is like the most like important to you. And so even though you fight, but you make up and you fight and you still love each other no matter what. And it's just like we saw all of that in that film so beautifully that it was just punching you right in the heart.
Yeah, you were not doing well when that credits rolled in that movie. We had to
fucking mess.
Take a break. Okay, so this one is Castaway. In that sequence of yes, of him pulling up the dummy and the rope at the top of that cliff.
Oh my god. Yes.
That movie captured loneliness so well, like absolute isolation. I'm not talking loneliness because you haven't left your house for a week. I'm talking like true isolation, no one to talk to but a volleyball, and the despair that would cause you. and the way that they revealed it of like, he had a problem, he needs more rope.
Yeah.
Oh, what is he talking about? Oh, he found rope, he's rolling. Oh,
Yep.
that's what he was doing with the rope. Like,
And then everything just sinks in.
yeah.
Yeah.
That moment was, it was gut wrenching. That was hard.
Yeah. Okay, so my next one would be The Sixth Sense.
Okay, is the guy behind you?
Stop it. The car scene. Oddly
Just love
enough,
that Toni Collette.
I do, honestly.
Yeah.
But oddly enough, it's another mother-daughter thing. It was, well, mother-daughter-son, but like the son was relaying messages to his mom from her mother, and like, enough said. Like, come on. And again, it's because Toni Collette is brilliant.
The last one for me is very recent,
Yeah.
and I don't think anybody's gonna disagree with me on this one.
Okay.
It's I Am Superman.
That was
Of the Iron Giant going into space.
That was
sacrificing himself.
That was mine too.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't have a specific moment in that, but like, yeah, the end of the Iron Giant was just, you know what? No, the moment when the deer died, and like,
yeah,
speechless. It was, whoo.
yeah.
Like, I'm so sad that I didn't see this as a kid, because I feel like as an adult watching that, like, you just get it a bit too much. And that's why it's so heart-wrenching, but like, what an amazing story and amazing lessons from that movie, and like,
All right, so last category, or last question rather. Top 10 of the year.
Yes.
In no particular order, because it's not possible to rank these.
It's too difficult.
We'll allocate 3 more for honorable mentions if needed. But yeah, top 10 for each of us
Okay.
this year. So Simone, you go first. Let's say with your first 5.
Okay. So, Contact.
Okay.
Because it's awesome. Because I love Jodie Foster, and I thought it was super nifty. And it's a really amazing story. It's nifty. I love alien. Like, I love the idea of aliens being out there, and yeah.
And that they're not immediately attacking us.
Yeah.
It's a nice little change of pace. Yeah.
Yeah, other life forms. It's fascinating. And
okay.
I mean, like, I'm in the belief that, like, we exist. The universe is insane. There's got to be other like life forms out there somewhere. Yeah.
You believe we exist. That's good.
Next one is Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
From, little baby writers, you probably have never heard of them. Batman and Matt Damon. I love it all. Oh, it's really nifty.
We all miss Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Yeah. Okay. My next one is No Country for Old Men.
Oh.
Oh boy, do I love a good haircut. Ooh wee. It's how'd they do that?
That haircut really makes it the best movie ever. Yeah.
Aside from the haircut, amazing performances by like Javier Bardem is just like he's gone. It is only it's that character is crazy and amazing.
Shigor, yeah, terrifying.
Yeah. Next is Hereditary. I know I've talked a lot about Hereditary today.
Fair,
and it's
yeah.
It is awesome. I fear a lot of things in the world. And when you watch horror movies, like, you are put into these situations that, like, you're like, okay, this won't happen to me, hopefully. Everybody knock on wood. Oh God. But like, yeah, so anyway, horror movies. This one, the way it scares you
Yeah.
is so unique.
Was that fourth or fifth?
That was 4.
Okay, and your
The
next one?
next one is Arrival.
Of course, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, try to say a bad thing about it. Try. I dare you. See? Nothing. Meh.
Amy Adams' terrible Chinese.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But listen, if it's not your native language, that's fucking hard. Okay, what are your first 5 of the 10 of the things?
First 5 of the 10 of things. Okay. Well, Good Will Hunting is the first one. I agree with you. It's just a good movie through and through.
Yeah.
There's not a single moment that I was bored. There's not a single moment that I feel like went on too long. The funny moments were funny. The tragic moments were tragic. The angry moments were angry. You know, when Matt Damon's fucking with people, it was hilarious. When, oh my God, when, is it Minnie Driver? That's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah. When Minnie Driver was crying towards him saying, you know, just come try it with me. I love you. I love you. I love you. And he's pushing her away. All of that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully done. So that's my first one.
Nice.
Second one is Godfather Part 2.
Ooh, yeah, I remember I really liked that one.
Love this movie. Yeah. I adore this movie. It is. It's just. It's such a rich, dense, and big movie, but it's like a perfect Thanksgiving dinner. There's just so many things in it, you know, and you're just so happy and content by the end. That's what Godfather 2 is for me.
Nice.
Next one is Big Lebowski. Yes, that I had no idea what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And I loved every second of it. The door, the chair.
The door with a
Will
chair.
never not be funny for me when he tries to bar the door in with the chair and it just opens the other way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's a great joke.
The dream sequences, Julia Moore's art being strongly vaginal. Just so many great
all
lines.
good art is.
Amazing. Okay. The fourth one is Turning Red. As I mentioned, it's a very personal movie for me.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot because there's just no other movie that I can think of that's like that. And then number 5 would probably be the original Blade Runner.
Ooh.
Yes, the first Blade Runner.
Ooh, stunning.
Daryl Hannah doing the leaps and then spazzing out on the ground as she's dying.
Yeah.
You know, the final speech, obviously, most famously, right? Tears in the Rain.
Yeah.
The just how everything looked, how dirty the city is, how lived in it felt when Deckard was walking through the city in the rain in the streets, and you can see all these shops in different languages just bombarding you.
Yeah.
It felt so real. It felt like Ridley Scott really traveled forward in time and filmed this movie. Let's go to your second.
All
5.
right, the second 5. Gonna start it off with a little bit of Fargo. It was a good time. I love Frances McDormand. She's in one of my favorite movies of all time, which is like a romantic comedy drama called The Butcher's Wife, where she plays this woman who
Is the wife of a butcher?
no, that's Demi Moore.
Okay.
She just plays this really awesome person. And and then I saw her in Fargo, completely different movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, don't you know? It was a treat. That movie was a treat. Next one, I've already talked about it a little bit today. How could you not? Because we're talking about like the movies that stick with us the most and all the things. Is Jackie Brown. I did not know that I was gonna love it as much as I did. I had been told to watch it ages ago, and for some stupid reason, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to be happy. And it was just like, I don't know why I do this to myself. I fucking love that movie. And yeah, like, why did I wait so long? Why did
Somebody told me to do it, so I'm not gonna do it now.
Yeah, fuck the man. No, seriously, I have issues, but there was like, yeah, it's just really great, and I'm so sad that I didn't get to it sooner, so I could just get to it sooner. My number 7 is Everything Everywhere All at Once, because
Of course,
like all I want to do is like cry and like thank the filmmakers for making this. That's all I want to do. My number 8 is The Batman.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
The Batman. I
Yep.
love that movie too, but wow, and all the way up to top 10. Okay, okay.
It's in my top 10 of this year. It was like I went into that movie with again with the expectations, with 0 expectations. I like, well, is that true? Batman does have some sort of expectation.
But it's also how many times can they redo the same Batman story, right? And it wasn't. Yeah.
And that's I think
And
why I
some
love it so much.
Serial killer Riddler. Jesus.
It was great. Paul Dano is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson is amazing. His grungy emo Batman is my shit. I fucking eat that up. I hate to repeat myself, but the Iron Giant.
Of course. Yeah.
Of all the movies that we watched this year, God, like another one that like it came out so long ago. Why was I why did I leave it so long to just watch such an amazing movie? It had everything. It had like the adventure and like just this discovery and this pain and this just it was just like what are the things that'll finish up your top 20? 10. I'll do that again. Okay, George. Sure. Okay, George. What are the last 5 on your list of top 10 movies of this year?
Okay, last 5. First one is actually V for Vendetta.
Ooh.
It also hits a bit personal for me. Just what that movie's about and what my birth country is kind of like at the time I was born and currently. Yep. So it's it's personal, and it reflected some things really well, and it made me realize how people who don't actually live in those worlds perceive those worlds to be.
Okay, yeah.
Correct or incorrect. Yeah. So that's my first one. Cool. The second one is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Got to.
I bow down to Michelle Yeoh. Grew up watching her movies. I bow down to James Hong. I hope he lives forever. Actually, is he still alive? I should probably look that up first.
Oh, Jesus.
Is he alive? Yes, he is. Okay. Yeah, I hope James Hong lives forever. The man is 93, but I want him to act forever. He is just excellent. The next one is it's actually super bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just how I was just so happy by the end of that movie because of how ridiculous it is and how much fun I had. Anything that can make me belly laugh is good.
Agreed.
And that period dance is just chef's kiss. Okay. The next one is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay.
I love this movie. It is just like, I felt like I was sitting at a campfire being told a fable. Like it was, I mean, it's in the title. It just felt like once upon a time this happened. Yeah. You know, and it was a revisionist movie about some history that we all wish, played out differently. That's my number 9. And the final one of my top 10 of this year is Sicario. Oh, doggy. That is, oh my Lord.
You did okay over there, George?
I have never clenched that hard than that bridge scene.
Oh, wow.
That might be one of the most nervous I've ever been.
Wow. That's awesome.
everybody, you know that they know, and they know that, you know, who's there and who's not, who's good, who's bad. It's very clear, but there's all these civilians. Are they going to raise their gun? Are they going to have a shootout? Is it not going to happen? And then, like, when Kate finally meets somebody who ends up being a hitman and nearly kills her. And it just stayed in that energy, in that, like, you will never foresee what's going to happen next, all the way to the end.
Yeah.
To the dinner scene with the family.
Whew. Yeah. The things that almost made it to my top 10 list were Top Gun Maverick. I've been lying to you all. The most shocking or surprising thing was Miles Teller dancing. The most underrated thing is Miles Teller dancing. The most disappointing thing is that I'm not right now watching Miles Teller dance. The most rewatched thing was me going over and watching Miles Teller dance. The most visually beautiful thing is Miles Teller dancing. The most memorable scene or performance was the volleyball scene when Miles Teller was dancing. The most fun I have is when Miles Teller dances after playing volleyball. No, I lied. It's football. The most heart-wrenching and touching scene is Miles Teller dancing. What else is there?
When it cut away from him dancing.
The most difficult thing to watch was the entire movie except watching Miles Teller dance. My top 10.
Okay.
Honorable mention. Okay. Yeah, we're all caught up.
I see.
No, all joking aside, Top Gun Maverick was one of my honorable mentions for top 10 this year. Because it, especially after, so we watched the original, and that was like a lot of fun. But what was really missing in the original for me was, this. I didn't quite know what the story was or what the stakes were going through that movie.
There was no goal. Yeah,
it was enjoyable to watch, but I didn't know what I was rooting for. I knew I was rooting for Tom Cruise and his team and stuff, and I was invested in that. But the Top Gun Maverick really was like, this is the story. It's clear. It's enjoyable. We're gonna do all the things that we did plus this, and it just made it perfect.
There is one extra question that we need to do.
Yeah.
And this is the question I'm gonna pose to Simone, and also ask all you guys to comment in the comments and tell us your favorites.
Yeah.
And that is your favorite thumbnail that we've done so far this year.
Yeah.
All right, Simone, what's yours? What's your favorite one?
So it was pretty simple because there's only one really that they're all, I mean, a lot of them are of me, and I'm like, okay, well, forget that bitch. But like everyone go check out Clueless.
Oh, jeez, no.
No, everyone go do it right now. Just like George is repeatedly, like when we work on thumbnails, sometimes we're like tossing around ideas. It's like, no, I won't be able to Photoshop that. Look at Clueless. It is perfection. Anyway, the runner-up for best thumbnail, it's got to be Commando. I mean, look at your little face. Look at your little face, and I'm just like holding you while I'm big, strong, and jump into my arms.
But in terms of like the one that made me giggle the most was probably Bad Santa. Your head.
I know it just works. It also just works.
Simone's head on what is it? Merman Thurman getting wedgied. It fits so well.
It does. Wow.
Yeah, that was my favorite one to work on. It was just too funny.
Awesome.
Oh man. All right. That's it. That's the end of this long ass video. So
we did it. We did a thing.
We
Happy
are done.
New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year. Or if this comes out after New Year, hope you had a good year.
Yeah.
Or a good New Year rather.
Yeah.
Or a good, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay.
I hope you had a good 2022 from January to December.
May all your enemies be vanquished and all your desires come true.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.